hope is dead. And so is the ability to dream, at least in the minds of critically at-risk youth. That's so dangerous. These eyes belong to a 15-year-old boy who has no hope. His aunt's the only one who ever really loved him, and she died. So now he lives with his mom. One day he needed a ride home from school, and a teacher volunteered to take him. When they got to the street of his housing project, police were everywhere. And the boy wasn't concerned. It was normal. But when they got to his unit, he saw a body lying in his front yard. It was his favorite cousin, shot through the head by a friend. So he and his family were evicted, and social services got involved. His mom fought, kept her family together. But even though he gets a check each month, he goes without basic things that he really needs, while he sees his mom give her attention to others. He doesn't see much of a future for himself. He does not dream. These eyes belong to a 14-year-old girl. She was gang raped by 5 men when she was 8 years old. Joined a gang with her twin brother when they were 11, only to hold him in her arms a few months later while he died on the street after they were in a gun battle with a rival gang. That same year, she was gang raped again. She started dating when she was 12. The result? She was abandoned by her true love, and she gave birth to a little boy 3 weeks before she turned 13. She stopped dreaming years ago. Welcome to the world of critically at-risk youth. Lots been written about kids labeled at risk because of socioeconomic status, crime in their neighborhoods, or family composition. But experience has taught me that there are levels in the at-risk world. So I coined a term, critically at risk. It fits a large number of youth living with situations so horrible that just surviving is iffy, and success out of the question, unless someone intervenes and gives them hope, helps them regain their ability to dream. You might be wondering, Donna, why are you telling us this? It's depressing. You're right, it is. You might even be saying, what does this have to do with us? A lot. Because critically at-risk youth pose a real danger to society. You see, young people who don't have hope and don't know how to dream don't care what they do to themselves or anybody else. So crime becomes acceptable. And having a conscience, not necessary, because they don't see a chance of things ever getting better. 2 years ago, 3 teenage boys saw a 22-year-old white male out for an afternoon run. They got in a car and followed him. And while one teen drove and another teen watched from the passenger seat, the teen in the back seat pulled out a gun, shot the jogger, killed him, and then they went home. The reason they gave for committing murder? They were bored. Recently, a 33-year-old husband and father got up early one morning to go work out. He went to his car, parked in the driveway of his home in an upscale suburban neighborhood, and surprised 2 thieves. They shot and killed him right there. The ages of the 2 individuals charged with his murder? 16 years old and 17 years old. It makes no sense. It makes no sense that murder could be viewed as a remedy for boredom, or that you could be gunned down at your own home just because you got up early to go work out. But life is only precious to people who believe success is possible. And critically at-risk youth don't. They really don't, because in order to believe success is possible, you have to have dreams. In order to have dreams, you have to have hope. In order to have hope, you have to feel safe. In order to feel safe, you have to feel loved, valued, and they don't. So how do we fix this? By opening the eyes of these precious babies and showing them that success is possible. By showing it to them through people and events and information outside of their normal comfort zone, their normal environment. But how do we do that? By mentoring or volunteering with kids who everyone else is either afraid of or has written off as a lost cause. Only if you can keep your sympathy in check, not make allowances for bad behavior because you feel sorry for them. And only if you can keep your anger in check when the kids say really mean things to you, because they will, at first. And if you can't do that, it's okay. Just help out in a different way, like either as an individual or part of a group, sponsor a class or an activity, a component of a program that works with critically at-risk youth. If you already volunteer with at-risk youth, please let me stop right now and say, that's wonderful. But critically at-risk youth need you even more. There's a real difference in working with at-risk youth who go home to parents or guardians who may not be well educated themselves, but who respect school, and in working with critically at-risk youth who go home to parents or guardians who try to make them quit school on a daily basis so that they can deal drugs or turn tricks. And that's only if they notice whether the kids come home at all. Making hope and the ability to dream a part of the world of critically at-risk youth works. I've seen it work. These eyes belong to a 35-year-old man who's gainfully employed, happily married, a proud father of 4 children, all in the care of he and his wife, so no baby mama drama. And he's a homeowner. But when I started working with him, he was 17 years old and still in the 7th grade. He was in a gang, and he was a drug dealer. What changed him? Feeling valued by way of my mother's tears. She cried in front of him because he wouldn't let her teach him math. He said it was the first time anybody ever cried over him. He felt loved, and that made him feel safe. Feeling safe made him have hope. Having hope made him have dreams, and those dreams made him become a success instead of a statistic. It made him have a family portrait instead of a mugshot. Let's make this happen for other critically at-risk youth. If we do, that horrible sense of entitlement, you know, the one that you owe me something mentality, will go away. And the childlike innocence that makes success possible will emerge. And then you get to see some really funny things. Sweet, but really funny things like hardcore gang kids running to find the golden egg at an Easter egg hunt. Let me tell you something. You have not lived until you've seen a 6'4", now former gang member with "Rest in Peace Mima" tattooed on his neck, walking around, munching on a chocolate bunny. You have not lived. Oh, but these eyes belong to a convicted rapist and murderer serving life without parole. I don't know him, so I don't have any information on his background. All I can do is tell you how he ended up. Remember these eyes? They belong to the son of the little girl who gave birth at 12. Aren't they practically glowing with hope? This is why we have to make hope and the ability to dream a part of the world of critically at-risk youth. Not just so that it's safe for us. No, we have to make it happen so that his eyes don't end up looking like his eyes. Thank you so much for letting me share the plight of critically at-risk youth.